Good evening, parents and students. Welcome to the 2021 school year. My name is Keith Richardson, proud principal of Knightdale High School. I hope your child had a great start to the school year by enrolling and engaging in our orientation course on Canvas. During this evening's presentation, I will share quite a bit of information. If your child is around, please invite him, her, them to join us this session. Before moving forward, please take time to follow the school on Twitter at Knightdale HS and follow me on Twitter at KHSCD Principal. There are still some unknowns at this time as there is much guidance that we have to follow that comes from the district. We will do our best to make your child's learning experience as smooth as possible. We are excited about this school year despite current circumstances. It is my hope that you and your family are healthy and well. Let's get started. From this point on, I will show a PowerPoint presentation in order for you to see information that I will discuss. Let's review our desired outcomes. By the end of this session, you will have received an overview of expectations for the 2021 school year, insight into the scheduling details of Plan B transition, along with the WCPSS Virtual Academy, a better understanding of instruction and learning for the fall, how to ensure you stay up to date with information, other pertinent information to offer clear guidance for the new school year, and finally, a follow-up to some of the most frequently asked questions. For your convenience, this live recorded video, tonight's slide presentation, and a frequently asked questions document will be posted on our school website following this evening's session. I will share the link to the presentation and the link to the live recorded session in tomorrow's evening's phone message as well. Today is day 2 of the new school year. As you are already aware, the first 2 weeks of school for all students will focus on orientation, meet and greet opportunities, and distribution of school materials and devices. During the first 5 days of school, all students will participate in an orientation course through Canvas. This includes students who are signed up for Virtual Academy and those who are not, our remote learning students. If your student has not yet enrolled in the orientation course in Canvas, he, she, they need to do so this evening or tomorrow. This course not only prepares them for online learning and an introduction to digital tools they will experience in their classes, but this is also how we officially enroll students into Knightdale High School. These student numbers determine our funding for the state. The more students, the more teachers. The less students, we will lose teachers. So please be sure your child enrolls this evening or the next day or two. The orientation course in Canvas is available 24 hours. We will begin calling families tomorrow of those who have not yet enrolled in the Canvas course as of today. Starting day 6, which is August 12th, orientation for students courses with teachers will take place. All students will receive an email from each of their teachers, which will include a welcome and information on how to log in to each of their live courses for the remainder of the semester. During orientation with teachers, teachers will review their course syllabus, expectations, supply list, and other helpful information to ensure students are appropriately onboarded to start courses successfully. In addition, they will create opportunities to build community and create what we anticipate to be lasting relationships. Finally, on August 19th, teachers will begin instruction. It is possible for teachers to begin instruction earlier, but that would depend on their plans for the orientation period. Before going too far, let's review some defining terms for understanding and discuss the differences between Virtual Academy and students in Plan B transition remote learning students. Virtual Academy students are students who will access courses online the entire fall semester or the entire school year. Virtual Academy students will not report to the school building. Remote learning students are students who will access courses online during Plan B transition. At the start of Plan B, remote learning students will access courses both online and in person based on their rotation assignments. Finally, blended courses are courses that contain students from both Virtual Academy and remote learning. In blended courses, Virtual Academy students and remote learning students will have the opportunity to work with one another as they will have the same instructor. There will be some instances that a few courses will be solely enrolled with Virtual Academy students or courses solely enrolled in remote learning students. Please take a moment to review some similarities and differences in Plan B transition and Virtual Academy. I will pause for a moment for you to review this information. For the sake of time, here are some key factors from this information. Until further notice, both remote learning students and Virtual Academy students will follow the same schedule and same expectations. All students will engage in about 2.5 hours of live instruction each day, Monday through Friday. The only difference in the two is that remote learning students will eventually return to the school building. Virtual Academy students will remain online for the entire semester or entire school year. Currently, there are 992 students out of 1,600 students enrolled in Virtual Academy. It is important for everyone to understand remote learning and online learning will have much higher expectations and higher accountability for both students and staff than during the spring semester, including the amount of live session time. In order to pass courses this semester, students must engage in online instruction and participate in live sessions. When the district is ready for Plan B, students will be divided into cohorts. One cohort will come to school 1 week at a time, followed by 2 weeks of remote learning. During Plan B, the first 45 minutes of each class will include students enrolled in the Virtual Academy. The remaining 45 minutes of each class will allow teachers to focus on those students who are attending their classes face to face. Remember, even during Plan B, all students should expect 5 to 6 hours of coursework each day, no matter their learning environment, Virtual Academy, remote, or in person. To prepare for this plan, we will set up the school schedule to be able to support students who return to the school building while continuing to support and teach our remote learning and Virtual Academy students. For those families who enrolled in Virtual Academy, confirmation letters were mailed home this past Friday. If you applied for Virtual Academy, you were accepted. As a reminder, by signing up, this is a semester-long or year-long commitment. Students are expected to participate in all live sessions and work independently outside of those live sessions. The schedule for the virtual academy matches the Plan B transition and Plan B schedule. Therefore, classes will begin at 7:30 a.m. High expectations and rigor will be the same for all students in all learning environments. This will be a much different student experience from spring 2020. Now, let's take a look at the daily schedule. As you can see, this schedule is for virtual academy students and remote learning students. This schedule will be followed during Plan B transition and Plan B. Please note that classes begin at 7:25 each day. The reason being, we were directed by the district to keep a schedule that aligned with our normal daily schedule. In addition, this will keep students on a routine and provide them with a structured day. Live sessions will take place for every class period, Monday through Friday. Live sessions will last 45 minutes each period. Once classes are settled, some classes may agree to meet the last 45 minutes of class instead of the first 45 minutes. In addition, some classes may agree to meet live beyond the 45 minutes that is required. You will also note on the schedule built-in time toward the end of each day for teachers to have virtual office hours to support our virtual academy students and our remote learning students. After each live session, virtual academy students and remote learning students are expected to continue their coursework online. During Plan B, the second half of each class will be used for in-person instruction with those students on campus. Students should start following this schedule Wednesday, August 12th. During Plan B, we will have small groups on campus. It will average to about 200 students on campus each day. During this time, we will do our best to keep students and staff safe by implementing some strict protocols. These protocols are already in place for our staff and any visitors. All students and staff will be screened before entering the building. This includes 3 screening questions and touchless temperature checks. Parents and visitors will be screened and only enter the building if necessary. Social distancing guidelines will be strictly enforced inside the building. One-way halls, restricted stairwells, eating in classrooms, staggered dismissal, just to name a few. Extra sanitizing and cleaning in common spaces and restrooms will be frequent during the school day. Parents and students, the stakes are extremely higher this school year with remote learning. Grades will count this semester. Students need to be engaging in all classes daily, just like if they were in school. Remember, students do not have their grade from third quarter to fall back on like they were able to do this past spring. Not only do grades matter, but student behavior and attendance matters. Students will be counted absent if they are not participating in live sessions or not submitting schoolwork on a daily basis. Students and parents should be checking PowerSchool regularly in order to not fall behind and stay on top of your grades and courses. During this unique time, students are really going to have to take responsibility for their learning. They are going to have to want it to be successful. Therefore, students and families should communicate with teachers on a consistent basis. Students should take initiative for their learning, and it is imperative they ask for help when needed. To ensure successful communication between home and school, all teachers at Knightdale High School have created a slide that looks like this, and each slide is linked to our faculty directory. This slide will provide families and students the information you need to remain in contact with your teacher. Information on this slide will include the teacher's email, Canvas or Google Classroom site, and how to join their Remind. You will have access to this information all year long, so you will always know how to contact your teachers. A link to the faculty directory is on this slide. We also have created a banner at the top of our school website so you can easily access this information. All teachers at Knightdale High School will be using either Canvas or Google Classroom to provide the resources for their courses. On the coming slides, we will look at what the student login looks like, as well as what to look for once logged into a course so that you can best support your child. All students will need to log into their Wake ID each day. Student usernames are their student ID number. If a student's password needs to be reset, please use the link I sent out in my daily message. I also emailed the link to all students yesterday and this past Monday. Once logged in, your student will see a screen that looks similar to this. The blue icon that says Outlook beneath it is your child's Wake County email. This needs to be checked daily by your student, as it will be a primary form of communication between teachers and students. We are going to take a look inside Canvas and Google Classroom to see what students will see once logged in to their classes. Here is the icon for Google Classroom. Here is the icon for Canvas. Let's take a look first at Google Classroom. When you click on Google Classroom icon, it will open up all of your child's classes that are using Google Classroom. This student only had one of their 4 classes in Google Classroom. This is the homepage for Google Classroom. The students' assignments and materials are located in the center. There are also options to click on a Google folder that houses all class resources as well as assignments. This is the students' assignment page. This screenshot was taken after students were out of class in the spring. This will show the name of the assignment, when it is due, and if it has been submitted or if it is still missing. You notice the red missing on the right side shows that assignment was not submitted by the student. Parents, this is a quick and easy way to help your child stay up to date with their assignments and classes. Now, let's take a look inside Canvas. Canvas courses will appear on the student dashboard, as you have noticed with the school-wide Canvas course to begin this year. Once you click on the course, the current materials are in the center and your navigation menu is on the left. The menu is clearly labeled with assignments, quizzes, and grades to easily check on the progress of your child. PowerSchool is a way for students to review their schedules and see their most up-to-date grades for each course. Parents, you too have access to PowerSchool, where you can view this information as well. With all these resources, parents and students can easily keep up with their progress and status in each of their classes all year long, no excuses. As tough as this may sound, it will be a student's choice and a parent's choice if you are not aware and kept abreast of your child's progress in school. Our school-wide grading policy with specific information from each department will be shared with you at a later date. In the meantime, here is a breakdown of how grades are calculated in all classes here at Knightdale High School. Assessments or projects are worth 40%, classwork is worth 35%, quizzes 20%, and homework is worth 5%. As in years past, first quarter will be worth 40% of a student's final grade, second quarter will be worth 40% of a student's final grade, and the student's final exam will be worth 20% of a student's final grade in each course. Information regarding senior exams is provided on this slide. Seniors will be exempt from their exam for any course that does not require a state exam and for which the student has a final average of C or better. So, what's next? Here are some things that need immediate attention from our parents. North Carolina law now requires the meningococcal vaccine for entry into 12th grade. All rising 12th graders must submit proof of this completed vaccination by the 10th day of school, which is August 18th. This also includes students enrolled in Virtual Academy. Parents, please submit proof of this vaccination to the school via email or drop it off at the school. On another note, if athletic participation cannot resume until January, one possible option being considered by the NCHSAA is to play shorter seasons of fall, winter, and spring sports between January and the end of June. All athletes, fall, winter, and spring sports would have to be academically eligible for second semester, which would be based on their first semester coursework. This would require any student athlete who participates in any sport to pass at least 3 semester-long courses or 6 courses on the AB schedule in the fall. If your child falls in this category, please contact their school counselor. Please, please, please update your email and phone number in PowerSchool throughout the year. If you are not currently receiving my phone messages, it means your phone number and email address is incorrect in PowerSchool. Please contact the school if you are not receiving my phone messages. Weekly phone messages go to parents only, not students. Be sure you have access to PowerSchool to view your child's courses and grades. Complete the breakfast lunch application. This is even for students who are enrolled in Virtual Academy, as they will be able to pick up lunch during the school year. Students eligible for reduced price meals will receive their breakfast and lunch at no cost for the 2021 school year. Get involved. We ask that you join our PTSA, athletic boosters, band boosters, and or share your willingness to serve on parent input committees that may arise throughout the year. We still owe our students a great school experience, and we need your help. If you are interested in serving in any capacity, please complete the interest form in the embedded link, Parents and Students Get Involved. Visit the district's Return to Campus site for district information regarding COVID-19 impacts, including health screenings, social distancing guidelines. This information is updated frequently. All texts underlined and in red are active links. Once this presentation is shared on our website, you will be able to click on each of these links to learn additional information about each of these topics. There are families who completed a technology needs survey from the district. We will be distributing Chromebooks and hotspots for students who need them. Distribution of devices will take place tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., August 7th. If your student will not be with you, you will need his, her, their student ID number. You must have on a face cloth covering at all times, and all students' families will be health screened. We do ask that one person enters the building, not an entire family. Beginning Friday, August 14th, we will begin material distribution for curriculum materials such as art supplies, math workbooks, calculators, textbooks, novels, and band instruments. Teachers will let your students know if there are materials they should come to the school and pick up. All class materials will be picked up at the back entrance of the school. This is the entrance by the football field. Once classes begin next week, please ask teachers any questions about materials and supplies needed to be successful in the class. Join us August 25th and August 27th for our virtual open house. Open house for first and second periods will take place August 25th, and open house for third and fourth periods will take place August 27th. Teachers will send families links to their Google meetings. There will also be sessions each for those evenings from a variety of groups and organizations such as PTSA and TRIO. Please mark your calendars and please join us for these events. Remember, your active participation and involvement is more important than ever. Stay connected with student services. Counselors will still be working with students and their families in the virtual world. You or your student can contact their counselor by phone or email. You can also set up an appointment by going to our student services page, which is linked to this slide, or you can get there from our home page. In addition to phone calls and emails, counselors will also send important updates and announcements through Remind. Please take a moment to sign up for your specific Remind group. Remind groups are separated based on grade level and the student's last name. We had to break it down this way due to restrictions on the number of members that can be part of each group via the app. Please text the above information to 81010. Please join the group or groups that correspond to your student's last name and grade level. I will pause for a moment for you to sign up now. Should you need more time and this information again, it will be located on our school website. Here at Knightdale, our Student Government Association is like the heartbeat of the school. We work to make sure students' voices are heard and to connect students as a whole. During the stressful and isolated time of COVID-19, our role is even more important. We are working diligently to make sure students have opportunities to stay connected and engaged with their friends and teachers that they may not have seen since March. This work is only possible when there is a strong SGA group, and in order to be strong, we need members who are passionate about uniting our community in this crazy time. If your student has strong leadership skills or would like to develop leadership skills, contact Ms. Richard for more information. Here are some resources to support you and your child all year long. The Guide to Technology for Students and Parents will assist students should they have issues with their devices, along with other helpful digital resources. Our media specialists have also created a catalog of resources on our school's website. As mentioned earlier, the district has created a Return to Campus district site that addresses all information related to the impacts of COVID-19 and the reopening of schools. The faculty directory is linked here again for your convenience. And finally, here is a direct link to my weekly phone messages. My weekly phone messages can be found on our school website, and all messages are archived. Feel free to explore past messages. As a reminder, all text underlined and in red are active links. Once this presentation is shared on our website, you will be able to click on each of these links to learn additional information about each of these topics. Let us all do our best and do our part to make this year the best year yet. We have seniors to celebrate and we have freshmen to acclimate. I ask that everyone remain positive. This is a new experience for us all. This is everyone's first time experiencing a pandemic and hopefully our last. In the meantime, I ask that you provide grace for school personnel as we will do the same for you. This is a true example of building a plane as we fly it, so your patience will be much appreciated. Keep in touch with your teachers. Update your contact information when it changes. Get involved and support your child and keep up with his or her their progress. Finally, I ask that parents and students use all resources provided and review all communication and information provided to you. Many of the answers to your questions have been already answered. It just may involve you taking time to review the information we have already shared with you. To wrap things up, families have been submitting questions since last week. We have provided answers to your questions in the link on the slide, and I have provided the links in my phone messages. You can continue to ask your questions in the other link provided where it says Ask Your Questions Here. We will answer your questions as quickly as possible, so please check the FAQ often. It is also helpful that you review the FAQ before submitting your question, as many of the questions have already been asked and answered. I would like to take a moment now to answer some of the most frequently asked questions. How can my child get a device for my child? Or how can I get a device for my child? Device distribution is taking place tomorrow from 8 to 4. You can show up anytime during that time. Make sure that you have signed up for this opportunity. If not, show up and we will take care of you. Be sure that you have your student's ID number if the student will not be coming for themselves. Next question, when will students receive their schedule? Students and families will be able to view their schedules in PowerSchool Monday, August 10th. Due to the enrollment in Virtual Academy, we had to change our schedule and as a result, move some things around. And so we took this week to adjust those schedules, but they will be available for you Monday morning. When do we start following the schedule? You will start following the schedule that we provided on August 12th. Please see slide number 8 for that schedule, and I will also provide the schedule for you all next week in my phone messages. What is the Canvas course that all students take the first 5 days, and what are the times? The information to access the Orientation Canvas course has been shared with all parents and all students. It was shared with all students in their Wake County email, which students should be checking every day. Students during this time, the first 5 days, will be able to work at their own pace. And then after that is when we start our daily schedule. Why is Canvas asking for a Microsoft account? Is everything via Google? Students need to sign in through the Wake ID portal. It is very important that before you access any of your schoolwork, before you access your email, that you go through the Wake ID portal first. Will counselors be scheduling virtual meetings to discuss college applications? Short answer, yes. More information to come. That's why it would be important to log on to your Remind accounts. So be sure that you review that slide again this evening so you can sign up immediately before you forget. Does my child have to have their shots to go into the 12th grade? Yes. Verification of immunization must be submitted to the school by August 18th. This is for students that won't step foot on our campus and students who are in remote learning and will eventually return to our campus. We ask that you submit those immunization documents. You can mail them in, you can scan and email them in, or you can drop them off here at the school. We will take them either way. If you need to email them, you can email them to lbarret@wcpss.net. That's lbarret@wcpss.net. Students are asking about the Google Meets code for virtual classes. That information for individual classes will be located on the faculty directory. In addition, all teachers will email their students information on how to log in on each of their classes beginning next week. So students, be sure you are checking your email every day. That important information is going to come into your email beginning Monday and Tuesday. And so you know exactly what time to report to classes on Wednesday and whose classes to report to. Are there school supplies we should have before classes begin? So there are no school supplies needed before classes begin. However, when you meet with your students beginning August 12th, they will share what supplies may be necessary for each of your specific classes. I can't log into my Wake ID. Sometimes you may need to reset your password if you forgot that password. We can do that for you in a matter of moments, and we don't mind doing that at all. You can see how to reset your password and go to the form that we need you to complete in my phone message from yesterday and the day before yesterday. But you can also go to your email, and I sent students an email about that on yesterday and Monday. I did see a question during this conversation that I would like to address about students with individualized education plans. Please note that students with individualized education plans, their plans will be followed. There may need to be some adjustments made based on the learning environment that you chose for your child. However, your case manager will contact you to schedule a meeting for us to have those conversations. But we will be meeting the needs and still focus on the learning goals of our students with individual learning plans. I also saw an interesting question that I would like to address as well. Someone asked about what about students who work? Please know that if this was a normal school year, your first priority would be here attending school from 7:25 to 2:18 every day. That expectation does not change due to the fact that we are remote learning through virtual academy, or we will have a combination of students coming in the building and remote learning. So the expectation is that you talk with your managers, you talk with your employers, and you get that schedule change and you let them know school has started. Those expectations will not change. So please be sure you get those schedules adjusted. That is going to be very important during this time. Families and students, with your support, involvement, and patience, this can indeed be a great school year. All is not lost due to COVID-19. We will do our best to ensure a smooth and successful school year for all students. However, it will take effort on the part of parents and students, along with our staff. Students need to stay engaged, participate in live sessions each day, submit assignments each day, and stay in contact with their teachers consistently. Once again, expectations and accountability are much different than they were last spring. You should expect students to struggle in the beginning as this is new for all of them. Productive struggle is okay. Students have their teachers to lean on for assistance as long as they remain engaged and stay in communication. As a final reminder, tonight's recorded live session, this slide presentation, and the FAQ will be posted on our school website at the conclusion of this evening's presentation. Feel free to review it as often as needed. On behalf of the administration and staff of Knightdale High School, welcome to the 2021 school year. We hope you remain healthy and safe, and we hope to see you soon, right now in the virtual world, and later, hopefully soon, face to face. Take care and have a great evening.